Good morning. We finally got some rain. We got about 2 inches, I'd say, because that's how much was in the wheelbarrow. And as soon as it stopped, I come out and planted my corn. So there's like 5 left. And I could sneak in here somewhere, but let's go look. Okay, you can see the greenery in there and all the brown. This piece of land was covered with a silage tarp for 3 weeks in 95-degree weather. So all the grass and everything underneath is dead. And it still has roots in there, but they're probably dead too. And what those roots are going to do is hold together the soil when it rains real heavy like this, because otherwise it'll wash away all your good soil. That's what they call soil erosion. So here's my 2 rows of golden bantam heirloom corn planted August 11th. It's Sunday, August 11th, 2024. And you can see the greenery on both sides there. We have 17 on each side, 1 foot apart, 3 feet apart between rows where I'm walking. I'm doing what everybody says not to do because it'll get cross-pollinated. 25 feet away, I've got 200-gallon fabric pots full of a different kind of corn. It's a dent corn. This is heirloom sweet corn, is what I planted today. This is orange, atomic orange, I'm sorry. And it's for the squirrels and the rabbits and stuff. And you can also decorate with it on Halloween. So anyway, we're going to see what happens with the cross-pollination. I'm going to probably just hand-pollinate these 2 rows, because it's only 2 rows, and to get good pollination you really should have 4 rows or maybe 5, because when the wind blows in different directions you want to get that pollination, and that's what happens. So basically I pulled back the tarp before they said it was going to rain, which was last night. And it didn't rain until this morning, but it rained really good for 2 hours, about 2 inches. So what I did is I took this shovel, this spade, and measured a foot between each piece of corn, each plant. So I pushed the spade in and wiggled it back and forth. And didn't pull it out until I dropped the little corn plant in there. And then I got it in position for the depth I needed. Then I pulled the shovel out and all the dirt falls out around it. And then you can kind of pack it down with your hands or step on it, to pack it down a little so it gets good connection with the roots of the plant. In other words, there's not a whole lot of work involved here. The tarp did all the weeding for me. And I don't have a tiller that I have to push around. And there's not a whole lot of digging. There's not a whole lot of weeding. It's because I have these tarps. And you can get your own tarps at farmersfriend.com. They're great people. That's where I get all my tarps and my caterpillar tunnels and all the plastic that goes on the caterpillar tunnels, and they've got a whole bunch of other stuff too that's really good. They're friends of the farmers, basically. So what you can do, these aren't cheap. I don't know what the prices are now, but you can look online, and you could get 3 to 5 of your friends and each just get a piece of this and maybe pay, $50 or something. That would be cool, because most people don't have as much as I do as far as land to plant on. So one thing It rained for 2 hours. You would think that the soil would be wet down, 3-4 inches, maybe a foot. And this is really light soil. It does have this mulch on top, which is great. It's all going to stay right there. All the roots and everything are holding the soil in place when it rains really hard. So when I stuck the shovel in to make a slit to drop these corn plants in, it was bone dry. It got wet for the first ½ inch, and everything below that is bone dry. So luckily the corn plants I had soaking in water before I planted them, so they're not going to suffer at all. And since I stirred up the dirt, I'm hoping it's going to rain one more time, but I don't think so. I'm just going to go ahead and get my drip hoses out and start watering. One thing that comes in handy when you're planting is this. I made a measuring stick, and I basically took a ruler and measured 1 foot, made a mark on it with a magic marker. That way you get the spacing perfect. You don't have to bring a ruler out there with you or a measuring tape or anything like that. And you can also measure the 3-foot one with this. This is 2.5 feet, but you can figure it out pretty easy.